still want that great living, but I don't want to trade 8 to 10 hours a day to
want
get
my
it.
time back. Yeah.
I want to be able to have control 100% of my time, and I want to control 100% of my financial destiny. And the way to do that is through assets. I keep telling folks, assets. The right assets will free you up so that you can do the things that bring purpose to your life and bring some passion to your life.
Yeah.
So what I do right now is because I love doing it. I'm passionate about it. But it so happens I have a skill set that I've developed over the years that also can generate a lot of money, but I do it in a small fraction of the time that I had to do it when I was working and trading time for money.
Sure.
And like you said, whatever is your hot button, for you, it's time. My hot button is lifestyle.
Yeah.
I want to have a lifestyle where I can be able to do the things that are really important to me and not have to worry about how I'm pay for it. Because that was my hot button.
Yeah. Like to come see your friend who's the head coach of Colorado.
Exactly.
And getting here wasn't an issue. And more importantly, here's where my part comes with my hot button. You didn't have to ask nobody permission to come.
Nope.
You didn't pull out no form
Nope.
and say, can I have these days
Nope.
off?
Nope. Just schedule it and game. And without a care in the world. Why? Because I paid the price.
Yeah.
I paid the financial price to be able to do that. And I tell people, your financial price that you pay doesn't have to be 20 years. It was 20 years for me because that was the right fit. It doesn't have to be that for you. You can do it in 1 year, you can do it in 50 years. It depends on how serious you are about that. But if you want to do it in 1 year or 5 years, it just means that you really got to get out and hustle and earn and keep a lot of what you earn, and then you got to multiply a lot of what you earn if you want to get there in a shorter time frame. You don't have to wait 20 years. You can do it whenever you want to, but please understand, you're going to have to get out and hustle and pay some type of, you have to give up something in the short term.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. You're going to have a little bit of short-term pain in order to get all that long-term financial gain.
One of my favorite quotes of all time, Frederick Douglass. And he said, in life, you may not get what you pay for, but you will always pay for what you do.
Absolutely.
And I live by that. I understand.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're talking about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's what you call a cameo or a walkthrough. What we gonna do with it, man? No, that's how it works. And we have to learn. My daughter, I'm getting her to stocks and stuff and how to look for trends and that kind of thing. And I told her, I said, simply put, like, don't complicate asset liability thing. Just look at it this way. What's your reasonable expectation to be able to sell something for the price you paid for it or greater? If you can get your money back or greater, that's asset.
Absolutely.
If you can't sell it for what you bought it for, it's a liability. Focus on the assets.
Simply put, hey, I don't want to own anything that takes money out of my pocket. See, in my opinion, assets put money in your pocket.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, because a lot of people will say, well, you got a piece of real estate, but you got a loan on it. How can that be an asset? Well, because the asset generates enough income to pay the loan and then put money in my pocket.
Yeah.
That's an asset.
Yeah.
But now if I have something out here that is just only taking money out of my pocket.
And see, I'm glad, Rich, you circled back to that because it's providential. You talked earlier about avoiding consumer debt. There is a place for debt.
Yes. Good debt. That's what I call it.
Yeah. There is a place for debt.
Yes.
Because if you have debt to start a business, keep a business going, expanding, and the business covers the debt plus some, that's not bad.
That's not bad debt.
Putting that Louis purse on your credit card.
That's bad debt.
And you're still paying for it 3 years later.
That's bad debt.
But saying I don't have the money to invest.
Right. Why? Because our behavior with money is all backwards.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the big things on my channel is it's how do I get my behavior with money right? How does a person who's making $50,000 a year, they work for 30 years. When they retire, they're multimillionaires. But then you take someone over here that's making $500,000 a year, who has all the financial knowledge in the world, they file for personal bankruptcy. It's just behavior with money. It's whatever your behavior with money is. So if I got a bad behavior with money, if I got $1, No matter if I got $1 million, I'm still gonna have bad behavior with money. So I try to get people to understand, change that behavior. You gotta change your behavior, and the way you do that is, like I said, you have to sit down and look at what you're spending your money on and have an honest conversation with yourself and say, well, is this really a need? Is this really a want? If it's really a want, maybe I should cut that out until I can get to a point where my assets can pay for those wants. And so guy says, well, hey, I'm doing good, making 6 figures. What do you think about me going out and buying myself a BMW? I've been working hard. And I always tell him, I said, hey man, how are you gonna pay for the BMW? Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a good job. What happens if you lose that job? Mm-hmm. How are you gonna pay for the BMW then? Oh, that's a good question. Well, then no, you shouldn't be buying a BMW. If your assets will pay for that BMW, then buy it. Enjoy yourself. Because you can go out here and get a reasonably priced car and do the same thing you're gonna do with that $70,000 BMW. You're gonna get from A to B. Mm-hmm. You just are, but you're gonna spend probably $50,000 less. Mm-hmm. And maybe if you go buy this $20,000 automobile, you don't have to get yourself into debt. But if you go buy the $70,000 automobile, you're gonna probably have to take a loan out for it. Sure. Most people are.
And that's what we see. Generally speaking, a $70,000 car has more maintenance issues as far as the cost of maintenance, the cost of oil change, the cost of fuel, the cost of insurance than a $20,000 car. So you say, oh man, well, the car note is going to be $750. I got that. Yeah, but do you have $1,100?
Well, you have to add some more to that.
Exactly.
And that's what people miss.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, I get emails all the time, man. I'm into this car. I'm 2 years into it, and I just had to downsize my pay because I changed jobs. What should I do with it? I'm upside down in the car. And I get those all the time, and I just say, here, that's a good lesson for you that you need to listen to and learn. Don't repeat that. Yeah. Right? Until you get to a point in your life where your finances are such that you can go pay for that thing, that's when you go buy that.
Tell you what my dad told me, Fain. He said, son, when you're in a hole, quit digging. Can't dig your way out of the hole, put the shovel down. No, and I don't care if that's finances, relationship, issues at work, put the shovel down.
Sure.
But we try to, culturally, because we want to hold everything we have and look the way we look, we try to dig our way out of the hole.
Sure. We hang on to things that really we shouldn't hang on to. Mm-hmm. We just do that, and I think that's one of the things that's why 100 million people in our country, 100 million adults in our country don't have any money in retirement savings. We only have 350 million people in this country, and some of those are children and older folks.
So over a third don't have it.
Over a third, nothing. And why? Because we live above our means. And the reason we do that is because that's what we see on TV.
Sure.
That's what we've been taught.
Sure.
And again, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying you got to stop and think about, here's where I'm at today. Where do I want to be tomorrow? Exactly. Am I willing to change anything to get there? And that's a tough conversation people have to have with themselves.
Man, brother, we appreciate your time on that.
You got it.
You nailed it with that end right there, and I don't even want to try to mess that up. Rich, we got to do this again, man.
Definitely.
One over Zoom or something.
Man. I'm always willing to share my opinion. I always say I'm an expert in my own opinion. Do your own homework. Do your own fact checking, but I'm an expert in my own opinion, so I love to talk about this type of stuff because I'm passionate about it. I want to see all people who want to achieve financial freedom, because I know how good it feels to be in a position financially. It ain't got nothing to do with having millions and millions of dollars. No. It just has to do with being able to wake up in the morning and control your own day, control your own time, and do the things that really mean something to you. That's what it's about.
My brother.
Got it.
Yes, sir.